Welcome to yet another important Drupal tutorial. In this tutorial, I will walk you through the process of adding custom validations to the content type using the constraints in a Drupal. In the last video, we have seen how to add the custom validations to the content type fields in Drupal using the hook form alter. Also, I had shown you the drawbacks of using the hook form alter for the validations to the content type fields. To overcome those drawbacks, now I will show you how to implement the customs validations to the content type field using the constraints. But before we jump into the coding, let's quickly understand what constraints are and why they are crucial. So the constraints in a Drupal are rules that enforce validations criteria on field values. By defining custom constraints, we can ensure that user submitted data meets specific requirements such as format, length, or the uniqueness. In the next slide, I will explain you the benefits of using the constraints or the hook form alter. So first benefit is the separation of concern. Constraints adhere to the principle of separation of concerns by encapsulating validation logic within dedicated classes. This promotes cleaner code architecture and easier maintenance. Second is the reusability. Constraints are reusable across multiple fields and forms within your Drupal site. Once defined, you can apply them to any field where the validation criteria are applicable, reducing code duplication. Third is the encapsulation. Constraints encapsulate validation logic and error message within their own class, making it easier to manage and understand validation rules without cluttering form alter hooks with complex logic. Next is the scalability. As your Drupal site grows, constraints provide a scalable approach to handling validation requirements. They are extended or modified without affecting other parts of your code base, making it easier to adapt to the changing business needs. The fifth benefit is integration with Drupal's validation framework. Constraints integrate seamlessly with the Drupal's validation framework, allowing you to leverage Drupal's built-in validation capabilities. This includes features like error message translation, form API integration, and compatibility with other validation mechanisms. The last benefit is better performance. Constraints are applied at the field level, which means they are only triggered when the specific field is validated. This can lead to better performance compared to using the hook form alter, which applies validation logic to all forms processed by Drupal, regardless of whether the validation is required. Alright, let's get our hands dirty with some Drupal development. First, we need to navigate to the Drupal admin dashboard. For that, go to the browser, click on the structure and go to the content types. Here you can see the list of the content types. We will add the validations to the one of the field in this employee content type. So to check the fields, click on manage fields. Here you can see in the employee content type, I have added the three fields: email address, name, and the salary. Now we will add the custom validations using the constraints to this salary field. This salary field should contain the $sign. So for that we will add the validations. Now let's move to the Visual Studio Code editor and I will explain you how to create the custom constraints in a Drupal. So make sure you have already created the custom module. My custom module name is custom_user_info. In that module, create the src directory. Inside the src directory, create one more directory, name as a plugin. Inside the plugin, again create the validation directory. Inside the validation directory, create the constraint, and in that directory we will add our custom constraint code. So for this demo purpose, I have already written the code. So I will now explain you that code. So first file is contents.php. In this file you can see the first line is a namespace. We need to add the namespace, and in namespace you can add your custom model name instead of custom_user info. After that, I have included this constraint class, Symfony component validator, and the constraint class. In the annotation, we need to declare the annotations. So @constraint id, this will be the id of the constraints, constraint_dollar. Label will be the contents dollar, and context will be the validation. After that, I have created the class contents dollar, which extends the constraints, and in class declare one public variable $message. In the $message, I have added message the string %string% must contains the $character. So in this file we can add the multiple messages, like I have commented these two lines. First is a not empty, to check if the field is not empty, that time we can show this message. And second is a length message. If you want to add validation to check the character length, so you can add such multiple messages. Right now I will just show you this $message of that field should contain the $. Now move to the next file, that is the contents$validator.php file. So in this file again we need to declare the namespace. Second thing is I have included the two classes, Symfony component validator and the constraint. Next, Symfony component validator and the constraint validator. Again declare the class which will extend the constraint validator class. In the public function, create the validate function, and we need to write the atoms and the object of the constraint class as a $constraint. So inside this class we get the data in the atoms format. For that we need to look through that data to get the actual value of our content type field, and in this $value variable we will get the value which we have entered in the content type field, and here you can add the validations. So in the if condition I am checking if the $sign is available in that text field. If it is not there, then I will show the message $constraint $message which we have declared here, and that message will be printed with the value of the text field. Same way you can add the multiple validations on that field. So here you can see in the commented code I have checked if that field should contain at least 6 characters. If not, then show this message. Now the final step is we need to add the hook into the .model file. So we need to implement the entity_bundle_field_info_alter hook. So replace this hook with your custom module or the theme name. So my custom module is custom_user_info, and after that it accepts 3 parameters: $field, and the entity interface, $entity type, and the bundle. In the entity type ID, first we need to check what is the type of the entity. If it is node, and bundle will be the machine name of your content type. So here you can see my content type name is employee, so I have mentioned employee here in the bundle. And after that, in the if condition, check if the value is set to the field which we are going to validate. So we are going to validate the salary field. Its machine name is field_salary. So we need to add this machine name here in the fields. After that we are calling that constraints. So which constraints we want to call, or which validations we want to trigger after submitting the value in that field. So we need to mention the constraint. So the syntax for that is field name, add constraints, and the ID of the constraints. So this ID you will get from this constraint $.php. We need to mention this ID here in the add constraints. So now our code is ready. Clear the cache. So I will clear cache using the drush command, drush cr. The cache is clear. Now go to the admin panel of your Drupal and try to create the new node into the employee content type. For that, go to content, add content, select the employee as a content type. Inside title, I will add title, name, email address, and now we have added the validation to this salary field. It should contain $sign. I will try to submit without $sign. I will check if it validates or not. So here you can see we are getting the error message. The string must contain the $character. Now I will add the $character. Again try to save this node. The new node is created with this $sign. It means our validations are working and we are getting the validation message which we have set here in the $message. The string must contain the $character. Same way we will now try to create the node using the API, REST API. So for that I have already set up this structure and you can check my existing videos on how to create the node using the post method. Now I will add this our field underscore salary field here. I will add a value without $sign and click on this send button. Here you can see we are getting the error message. The salary field must contain the $sign. In the last video we have seen the validations which we have added using the hook underscore form underscore alter function. Those were bypassed while creating the node using the REST APIs. But right now we have added the validation using the constraints. So now those validations are applied to the REST API as well as while creating node using the Drupal backend. So I will push this code on my GitHub repo. You can check the link in the description of this video. So that's it from this video. You have just learned how to add custom validations to the content type fields using the constraints in a Drupal. Constraints empower you to enforce validation rules to your site's requirements, ensuring data integrity and user experience. So go ahead and implement the constraint in your Drupal projects. If you found this tutorial helpful, please like and share the video. Also subscribe the channel for the more Drupal tutorials. Thank you for watching and see you in the next tutorial.